Right now, though, let's get over to Mayor Alig, who doesn't have to worry about close, open, primary because the mayors are not seeking election this year, right?
That's correct.
Right.
Welcome back.
Hey, thank you, Mayor. How are you?
I'm great.
Yeah.
We did miss, well, we have a party today for sure.
Oh, yeah, we do. I know. It's like of all the days to come back. Whew. Came back on Democratic Party Day.
Yibiba.
Viva. Mayor Alec, I saw some great news because, we've been asking you a lot about the senior centers reopening, and we're finally there.
We are. We're finally there. May 2nd is certainly the opening date. We're That's what's keeping those mayors busy with the senior centers. Uh, we know that there our Manamco are just eager to come back.
Yeah.
I know that I did report about 600 registered to come back, and there's certainly more that are kind of still out there, still haven't decided. But for those 600, well, it's over 600. It's I think maybe 670 now that I saw yesterday. Um, we're excited to get them back to move and groove. Other than just bingo, I know they like to dance and they like to sing, and most of the centers are prepared with karaoke systems and their dance floors. So we're excited to have them back. Of course, we always talk about the meals, and that was always a big deal because we do have an increase, or we had an increase during the pandemic of Manamco receiving meals at home, and that was just allowable by the federal grantors.
Right, right.
And so, now that we're opening the centers, they're going to have to register with the center in order to partake of that congregate meal. But if they're not wanting to come to the center, they can call their center manager or the Division of Senior Citizens to ask them how they can apply for another meal program that is home based. And hopefully they qualify and they can get their meal delivered to their house. So all of this week, I know that the notices are going home with the meals that are being delivered every day to remind the Manamco that the centers are opening on the 2nd. And if they have any questions, there's contact numbers on the flyers that are going out to them every day. By the end of the week, they should have enough to cut up to cover their bingo cards next week. They don't have to, if they don't have any more dabbers, they can make those as covers.
Mayor, when you talk about because we had talked about this before when the senior center is open, it does something with the meal program that everybody's on right now. So, are you guys going to be liberal in the transition for some of these people who are going to be going off the congregate meal thing and then going on to the other program you were talking about? How do we ensure
Well,
there's not an interruption in service?
no, that was our biggest concern, and that's why we had status meetings with the Division of Senior Citizens. We had them weekly, then we had them every other week, because we wanted to make sure that when we open, that we accommodate all the seniors that we're servicing right now, and whether we get a confirmation from them that they're okay not receiving the meal, or we've directed them to another program, or we've welcomed them to the center. So yes, we've definitely been making sure that we contact the seniors. If there's a senior citizen that was not contacted that is currently receiving meals, I know that we're trying to reach out to you, and there's numbers and information on the flyers that are going home every day this week. Please call those numbers. Call the mayor's office or your senior citizen center closest to you to get information, because we don't want to leave anyone behind. That was our biggest concern from the very beginning when we were going to transition. Was we wanted to make sure that because we brought in so many more Manamco to the meal program, that we wanted the transition to be as seamless as possible, and give the Manamco enough time to either wean off the program and provide their own meals at home, or participate in a current program. And again, all of this is federally funded, so we do have to follow these guidelines, and they're not locally mandated. And so the mayors. I do know that the administration is in support of making sure that everyone is taken care of, and of course, the Division of Senior Citizens.
Yeah.
They have absolutely no. They have no. We all want to make sure that they're fed and that they receive the meal that they're promised, and so hopefully that we don't have any issues come next week. Well, I'm positive we're not going to have any issues.
Go.
You can call me, but yeah, that should be good.
Mayor, I saw in the our news story here that you noted that the between 600 and 700 seniors is what you're anticipating returning to the centers when they reopen on Monday. It says here you noted that's a decrease compared to pre-COVID days. How much of a decrease are we talking about?
So the decrease, it's about, I have to say it was closer to 1,000. It was closer to 1,000 participants. And a lot of the decrease is because some, in the last 2 years may have passed away. Yeah. And others, they're a part of another program, another meal program that they're no longer coming back, or they just choose not to return for whatever reason. So, like I said, the good thing is that we know that they're not coming back, right? And that's what I mean. It's the connection to them. If we didn't know and they were kind of missing, kind of like the DOE issue, right? Right. That would be difficult for us. I don't know if I could, I couldn't stomach that because you can't leave them out there, but we know where they're at. We know their status. So it's good. It's good to know. Really.
Mayor, I wanted to ask, because I know you guys are giving out the commodities again. Is that this week?
Yeah, it's rotating. Yeah. So this week, I can't keep track of which villages, but I know it's on the JIC report. So right. Yeah, this week, I believe, not next week, but the following week. And we do the same, nowadays, there's still people in need. And if over the weekend, I ran across a lot of other people who I don't know. And thank you for coming up to me. And you know who I am. I do appreciate that you come up to me and let me know that, hey, I live in this village and I never got food commodities because they ran out. Wow. And I've always said on your show that if there are any residents that were out, if we have any leftovers in the village, we'll certainly be willing to give you. And a lot of times we're able to accommodate others. So of course, PT is not scheduled this month, but if you're out there and you're still not receiving food commodities, let us know, let me know, give my office a call and we'll see what we can do to help you out. Because for a lot of people, that bag and that box, is real substantial. Yes. And it provides a wholesome meal.
I know, Mayor, and I want to dust off this old question we used to ask you, during the height of the pandemic. What do you mentioned a little bit, the need of our people. Where are they right now in terms of need?
Well, when you ask, I know that the demographics have probably changed, but there still is a need simply because people are still reaching out, right? So I'm sure they're employed. Some of these people that I speak to, but perhaps they're not fully employed, meaning they probably don't have 80-hour jobs, or they're still part-time, or they're on call. So I do appreciate that our people put their shame aside if they need help and give us a call, because it's about living and it's about the quality of their own lives. So there's still a need, to answer your question. And I guess I foresee this for the next year, perhaps. Yeah. Right. So Mayor, hopefully we'll see what happens.
There's a couple things that I got the speaker in line next. First, was there an update on Liberation since we last spoke?
So we'll know more this Friday. I think we'll be sending out some information by Friday, and so keep your phones on, and you'll know by Friday for sure. But I do have something. I do have something to say about PT though, because I hardly talk about PT. But can I? May I?
Yes, you may.
Okay. So I'm excited about So we've started our Santa Cruz Novena, and traditionally in PT we've kind of had two fiestas, and there was a family in Telefofo that took over for many years, the family of Tenantonio de Gracia, and so I do want to recognize them because they, for many years, they coordinated the Novena at Santa Cruz at the Atentano Shrine here in PT. But San Antonio passed away several years ago, and to my knowledge, they really have not been out at the shrine. But the family still takes uh, pride in the shrine, and they still come around, and we do talk to their relatives every once in a while. And we wanted to continue that tradition of the Santa Cruz Novena. And so in 2019, we thought about that. And of course, we couldn't start it because then, of course, the pandemic came on. So that kind of changed our plans. So this year, we started to think about that. And then the Guam Preservation Trust comes into the picture, and they call me, reach out and say, hey, this Atentano Heritage Preserve. And I thought, yeah, great. That's what I want. Thank you. And so now we can connect the two. We can connect the Heritage Preserve to the shrine that exists in PT, hopefully meld it together and bring more awareness to the shrine and to the preserve, and why it's just so important for us. And I am vanidoso about it, because every time we talk about Ritidian or Litekzan, we talk about pottery, all the artifacts and Lati sites. Most think of the north, most think of Pagat perhaps, and other regions of the island. But we have so much in Atentano to offer, and there's so much history, there's so much of our heritage there that I just can't wait to share with
Mayor,
everybody.
I'm sorry. So is this the shrine that's kind of like behind Uncle Bob's?
Sumai Pub and Grill, yes.
Oh, sorry. Yes, just showed my age there. Yeah, so it's behind Sumai, guys. And I've been to this. It's a really, like the mayor said, it's a kind of a little structure, and then there's some statues. It's a really nice place to check out. And then I also went with Joe Canata.
It's registered in the National Register of Historic Places.
Yeah.
And so it is the original shrine that was built there. And I do invite everyone to come out. We have the Novena every night at 6:30, but May 3rd is our big event. So, I know I sent out a release the other day, but May 3rd, we are inviting everyone at 6 p.m. to the Atentano Shrine. Okay. We will, of course, have the traditional Novena and Mass, but afterwards, GPT will be with us, and we'll put on a little exhibit about the Atentano Heritage Preserve and the shrine, of course. And so I'm really hoping to just get conversation, get our manamko there. Since we started, I've received many phone calls of the office about my family being there and knowing their relatives. And that's just what I wanted to do, is just bring more awareness, get people out. Of course, I think we bring our Chamorro people out with food and with prayer. So we're going to have food and we're going to have prayer. So put for to May 3rd at 6 p.m.
Thank you, Mayor. But no food until after the prayer.
No prayer. You need to pray first. Pray, talk, and then eat.
Mayor, I wanted to ask, with Speaker Terlahi and the gas relief measure that she had, I remember before I went on leave, there was somehow you guys had gotten involved with it, right? Have you guys... has there been any development with that? Have you guys taken a stance?
Yeah, put me on the spot, Chris.
Sorry, I just had to before, It is what it is.
So I want to speak on my own, on my behalf, and not from the council, because it.
So are you speaking as Mayor Jesse Alig of PD and not as the Mayor's Council President, or are you just speaking as correct. Jesse Alig, human being? Correct. Okay.
I'm speaking as the mayor of PT and not representing the council, because in the council there's still so much discussion about it, and everyone's kind of being pulled left to right. And I hope Senator San Augustine is listening, because he'll probably call me after this. But of course, initially and after reading the speaker's bill, I am in support of it. I really am, simply because if there is relief for the consumer at the pump, and it's not necessary to have those additional charges to the consumer, because we feel it right at our level in the district, in the village, then I'm supportive of the bill. And that's my personal stance.
Okay.
But as far as the council goes, we haven't been able to come to a consensus, and I know that we will continue to talk about it at our next meeting. So that's the
what's the
answer.
divide? Is it even split, or do you have any idea?
Uh, well, everyone has questions because I've asked them to review the public hearing on it, because there's talk about how it affects the mayor's budget, and it affects our current appropriation. We've tried to let them know that it would not affect the current appropriation. Everyone acted so quickly at the last meeting, at our regular meeting, and so I was fine. I just went ahead and shared what was coming in, as as the meeting was progressing. And so I think that the biggest concern is losing money, and because we don't have a big budget as it is, so that's the biggest concern for most of the mayors, is just losing money, and then the roads, right? But then those roads, we don't even actually get the money for. All of that road money goes directly to DPW. When it comes to the Guam Highway Fund, we're trying not to even use the Guam Highway Fund for the Mayor's Council, which we've been attacked about by using that fund, and so we've asked many times to get us out of that. And so hopefully in fiscal 23, we will no longer see any Guam Highway Fund come to the Mayor's Council, and then we'll all be happy.
Don't hold your breath, Mayor.
You pray, hope, and don't worry. Come on, Chris.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay.
That's that.
Good morning,
Okay.
Speaker.
There you go. Yeah, let's go ahead and get Speaker Terlahi on there, as Mayor Alig left real quick. He was like, "Oh, I'm out." Speaker Terlahi, good morning.
Good morning, and I love that interview.